Husqvarna, guys. I feel like I'm riding a full factory works racer from 1978, and that's basically what this bike is. This is a 1978 Husqvarna CR250 with the Profab frame, manufactured by C&J under the Profab name. This frame was 7 to 8 pounds lighter than the stock Husqvarna CR250 frame, and it was a lot stiffer and had a better feel. The laid down shocks, that was the thing in the day in an era of intense development. Lots of money being spent in research and development. Works bikes were still allowed. There weren't any homologation rules in the AMA, and if you were a privateer, this was the next best thing aside from a full works bike. This Profab frame, they weren't cheap, but gosh, after riding one, just super impressed with the bike. This thing is just total magic. Motor is super tight. So let me get right to the story behind this one. This one came from the Mark Underwood collection. Rest in peace, Mark, good friend of the museum, collector that recently passed away. We bought this bike before he passed. It was in his collection next to new old stock CR500s, CR250 Red Rockets, and 80s Husqvarna, Swedish two-stroke 500s. Just some total unobtainium in his collection. The guy was anal. He was a true enthusiast. Everything that he owned was perfect. This bike, essentially, they took a brand new 1978 CR250 Husqvarna and they put it in this chassis. For those in the know, you know, when you do a swap like this, there's a lot of work that needs to go into integration to make it work to the point where you can do wheelies up the driveway, stop it on a dime, take it to Dilla. This is a bike, dude, you could probably hit the sky shot on this thing. This thing works. And why? You know, because we just put in $6,000 in parts and labor into the bike, finishing the swap. So we had a brand new 250 CR Husqvarna engine. This thing is just incredibly tight. In all new componentry. Jordan, show them the tank up close here. So this is an original 78 tank. It's not perfect, but it's essentially off the shelf. It's original paint, and there's a lot of original components on the bike. Before I go over the work order and all the work that was done, I want to show you some of the items on the frame. If you look in the forums, this is what people always talk about on these Profab frames. Just surgical welds. Surgical welds in the frame. It's got fresh powder coat. It's got the stock CR250 front end. This build, new accels were used, laced to the stock hubs, and just insane drum brakes front and rear. Lock it up on the front and the rear. Just super, really impressive. And guys, there's a lot of swap parts that had to be handmade, just like they did back in the day. This is a period upgrade with a lot of OEM Husqvarna parts. I bet you most of them that were converted to a Profab frame, aftermarket frame conversions, didn't have this kind of attention to detail. This is some AJ Wagner, Indiana Hoosier quality work right here, with some top fabricators. So I'm gonna let Billy put his 2 cents in. Actually, Billy, can you grab the stand and then I'll pass you the mic and then I'll go over the work order on it. We got to put this thing on a scale, but I got a hunch this thing's under like 180 pounds. It's super light. I told Billy when I went for the first test ride this morning, it's like quick revving, like it's got a lightweight flywheel on it. But that's how these were. When you have a nice tight motor that's tuned with the Mikuni carb and is tuned in right, it's just fast revving. It feels like just, you know, it's an athletic chassis and a super capable 250 motor. I was coming up the driveway and the front end was just coming up like nothing. It was super impressive.
Right, Kenny, you were in third gear just rolling the throttle on, the front wheels pawing the air. And as you were turning down at the bottom of the driveway, it looked extremely light and agile. Just had that look about it. And most bikes that we turn around down at the bottom, it's a little awkward, but it kind of looked like it was very easy. And as you rolled up the driveway, you had plenty of power. Actually spinning the back tire and first, second, third gear off the ground. I'm sure fourth would be the same.
Cornering's on point, power, incredible.
Well, back in the day, these were rare and unobtainium, especially at the club level. I think this is more of a pro frame. And, you know, looking at the welds, like you're mentioning, surgical welds, that's kind of coming up. It's an aircraft quality weld job, and it's super beautifully put together. You know, the fit and finish is like no other, and thank God we brought it to the finish line. This bike gave us some hard times getting there. It did, and we stayed the course, and luckily so. Now we've got this beautiful piece that's really, it's a fantastic motorcycle, it really is.
We've had the bike for over 2 years, Bill, since we bought it from Mark. It was before he passed. We ended up buying Mark's entire collection, cars from him, trailers, all of that, and most of it before he had passed. But we did a lot of business with Mark. He's an incredible guy. Again, God rest his soul. Just a super impressive collection. I'm actually going to clip in some of the clips from this acquisition from when we bought it and the stuff that Mark had to say. I want to go into the work order because there's just an outrageous amount of work that was put into this to make it what it is, and the integration to have it to the point where, okay, well now it's like it's brand new and came off the showroom floor in 1978. It's a polished product that doesn't need anything. You take it to the races. So, like I said, it was an unfinished swap from a brand new 78. Unfinished, and we took it across the finish line.
That motor's super crisp, and as you rolled it down and fired it up when it was cold, it has that, you know, really quick rev. You know, not like an air cooled. Sounds more like a modern engine.
Right.
Yeah, very responsive, and as you said, feels like it's got a light flywheel. It certainly does sound that way.
We did a complete ultrasonic clean test and tune on the carburetor, changed the engine oil, installed a brand new gold chain, installed a brand new 14-tooth front sprocket. Brand new grips were installed new progressive rear shocks. So those are brand new, no old seals or anything there. Those are brand new remanufactured shocks that are period spec. And there was a boatload of sublet repairs. The original exhaust had to be custom manufactured. So you see on the end piece here where the springs were manufactured, and this entire back part of the pipe is all custom to fit with the bike and work around this Profab frame. The foot peg mounts were also custom machined by our machinist, Tony, the mad scientist. And these are just beautifully done. Lots of other parts included, brand new clutch cover gasket, brand new backgrounds and decals and number plates. These are brand new period Magura grips. And you see the other Magura components, Magura clutch lever and perch, Magura front brake and perch, Magura throttle housing here. Or actually, excuse me, the throttle housing is made in Sweden. You see, brand new petcock, brand new Metzler motocross tires. Those are very expensive. The brand new Metzler motocross tires. Brand new kill switch. See what else we got here, and of course it was completely detailed. Hot water pressure wash, degreased, touched up the engine very lightly, polished the wheels. Brand new remanufactured wheels, excels to the original hubs. Polished the fork tubes, the tank, bars, clamps, hardware, etc. Total work order was massive. We spent a lot of time on this bike making it perfect. Total parts, $1,651 with environmental fee, shop supplies, good amount of sublet repairs, and then 25 hours down in the service department. Labor came out to $39.60 for a subtotal of $56.71 with tax. Work order was $6,031.11. It was a labor of love, guys. We spent like again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but just an incredible amount of time spent on the build, and it paid off. Riding this thing for the first time was super impressive. So hats off to the guys, and I think it's a testament to this program. This wasn't some hodgepodge backyard frame where they were, I think that looks cool, or I think that this is clearly a result of a lot of R&D on the side of Profab, and something that is greatly improved on what was available from the OEM, because I've never ridden a twin shock Husky that turned like this and felt like this coming up the driveway. Just really completely exceeded expectations.
Makes you want to put it in the dirt, really.
100%. Yeah, bring it to Dilla, MX Rewind.
Yeah.
That's next.
All right.
So.
You hit the nail on the head with the throttle. You said Swedish throttle. That's a Gunnar Gasser made by Gunnar Lindstrom.
Yep.
And he invented that. It's a Whirlpool, so it's there's no tight bend on the throttle cable itself, so it lasts forever. Great leverage, nice piece. This is top quality all the way around. Every component on this bike is mint. It needs some ride time. It needs some shakedown. And oh boy, I think we could do that here.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's going to be parked in the museum where it'll stay for the next owner. It's got non-ethanol fuel in the gas tank, mixed 40-1 with the synthetic oil. So it's going to go back on display in the museum, really where it belongs. But it's ready for display, it's ready for show, it's ready for the races. We can ship it anywhere in the States inexpensively. Message your zip code for a shipping quote. We also offer financing on these bikes through Freedom Road Financial. You can call in for a pre-app. We'll be happy to get you set up. Any questions, again, call the shop line. Be happy to help. Sad to see this one go. Feel like it's kind of become part of the personal collection here, kind of part of the bike scene here, and I got tucked aside. We've owned it for so long. But it's time to see it go. We're getting ready to set up our new gas showroom on the first floor. It's going to be a costly build out. We're looking to raise revenues for that. And as always, continuation funds for the museum. We have a lot of overhead here after restoring the 200-year-old factory, old textile factory. But a couple things I wanted to note before we signed off. The original tank come on the side, Jordan. There is a little pea-sized dent right around here. You probably saw it already.
I'd call that shelf damage.
Shelf damage, yeah, exactly. Yeah, same
Because that is obviously a new old stock tank. If you rub your knee on that clear coat on the aluminum, it'll come right off.
One moto at Dilla, Billy would wreck this tank, right?
Yeah. It would take off the pinstripe, and there'd be signs of use.
It'd be toasted.
Yeah.
Yep. So clearly, guys, the stock Husqvarna swing arms were oval. So this is another trademark of the Profab, the rectangular swing arm. One thing that wasn't done under our watch, a chain slider wasn't installed. So maybe something to think about before you go out and vintage ride it. Aside from that, man, really well polished bike that leaves very little to be considered before going out and hawking it over Sky Shot. So, thank you guys for watching. Billy, you got anything in closing?
No, this bike is just mint. And besides that, I love this. This is from my era. Husqvarna, I had a WR250 this year. So, it kind of reminds me of my own bike and back in those days. And this is a total improvement after, just seeing you ride it. It's fantastic. It's quite a machine.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck bidding, and God bless America.